Welcome to the Rick and Morgan podcast, presented by Lemon Sports Network. Here's your host, Morgan Colby and Ricky Lemon.
Hey, Rick.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Doing swell.
Swell.
You know I had to hit
Love
you with
it.
the swell.
Always. Every single week is with the swell. It's the swell. It's going to be ginormous.
Huge.
How are you? How are you actually doing besides being swell?
This time of year, most people are pretty tired and broke. So I guess that's what I am.
I
now.
got like a whole freaking week off of work.
What the heck is up with that?
And then I was like, every single day now I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to go back to work.
It's like everyone. It's like me all the time.
I've been back to work for like a week and a half, and every day I'm like, I should just call in.
What's that? My temperature's at normal. Yeah, I think I'm
feeling Bill Belichick. I'm feeling a little, I need a little orange juice
I'm
today.
having a little Peyton Manning in the playoffs. What's that? Cold.
Oh my goodness. Welcome to the Rick and Morgan podcast. You can follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook, because you don't follow people on Facebook. I don't think you do.
No.
Thank you to the new listeners for listening. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts / iTunes or wherever you listen. Make sure you go to lemonsportsnetwork.com. We try to keep you up to date with all of the news that is happening around the NFL and other leagues. And you can also search us on Google. So let's get started with In the News. First, I'd like to go over the many coach hirings this week because there was so much that happened. We'll get to the wild card round after this, because I think that we just need to get through the stupid news. Coach hirings: Matt LaFleur going to the Green Bay Packers. I just want to preface all of this. I already said Matt LaFleur, but I want to preface this by saying, how many bad coaches needed to get signed?
A couple, apparently.
I'm like, how stupid can you be?
Now, I always like to give him the benefit of the doubt.
No, there's no benefit of the doubt.
Well, hold on.
90% of these guys are going to be fired.
Just
except for Kliff Kingsbury.
Because I'm
He's
always
going
like,
all the way.
They might see something in this person,
yeah,
right?
that's true.
But Matt LaFleur, the Titans had the 27th ranked offense.
He's worked with,
and you hired the
I
offense
believe,
coordinator.
He's worked with Sean McVay, and
everybody's trying to get the next Sean McVay. And
yeah, and you know what I noticed? Look up a picture of Matt LaFleur and Kliff Kingsbury. Forget the comparisons to that actor. Matt LaFleur and Kliff Kingsbury could switch coaching jobs for 1 week and nobody would know the difference. They look exactly the same. I'm sorry. Kliff Kingsbury was signed or hired by the Arizona Cardinals this week as well.
Which could be the next Sean McVay, but he could also
flake.
Yeah.
If you're the Arizona Cardinals, I actually thought about this a little bit. If you're the Green Bay Packers, why did you hire Matt LaFleur? You have Aaron Rodgers. You're trying to win now. That was the dumbest friggin'. I'm not even going to get started. That was a dumb. I think they look at him. He was a great quarterback coach. He worked under Sean McVay, in the offensive side when Jared Goff started playing a little bit better, and then he worked under Matt Ryan. He worked under who's Kyle Shanahan? No.
Yeah, at the time. Yeah.
Is it Shanahan?
Are you talking about Atlanta when he was the quarterback coach?
Yeah, and
yep,
Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
okay, all right. So LaFleur has worked in both of those teams, and they've had great quarterbacks. The concern for me is that LaFleur has this year, I mean, it might show good signs for him, but he spent the whole year running the football, a majority of it, and that might be a concern for the Green Bay Packers.
Now, did he do that because he had Blaine Gabbert and Marcus Mariota for half the year?
Yeah, I would guarantee that. That's probably it.
Now with Aaron Rodgers... Now, I mean, a lot of people in Green Bay do want them to run the ball more, so...
Yeah. I mean, it depends.
Yeah.
You have Rodgers, so try to win games. It doesn't help their defensive situation. Kliff Kingsbury, on the other hand, I think is a good move for Arizona. And the reason why I think it's a good move for Arizona is because Arizona is going nowhere. Mm-hmm. Like, They have Josh Rosen, but they have nothing else besides David Johnson and Josh Rosen. Their offensive line blows. Their wide receiver core is meh. Larry Fitzgerald's old. Their defense blows. So the whole team is just not good. It's not good.
So it's a good move for Arizona, but is it a good move for him? Because
I don't know.
Because he might start off 2 bad years in a row,
Get fired,
right?
But he has a job in college somewhere.
Yeah, I guess.
He was bad in college too. But I think the thing with him is that, like you said, you could either hit or you completely miss. Most likely you miss, but if they hit, they get a good coach. So I think with Arizona, they're like, what do we got to lose? Let's do it.
Oh, yeah, no, I like it from Arizona's
For
point of
Green
view,
Bay, if you're Matt LaFleur, you're like, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but if you're Matt LaFleur, you're looking at it and like, if you don't do well with this team, you suck. And for the Green Bay Packers, if you sign this guy, you had so many good options.
From Matt LaFleur, from his point of view, you're like, okay,
Matt LaFleur.
If you don't succeed, you can kind of have the Josh McDaniels, like, first coaching job, Bill Belichick. Like, guys have had one coaching opportunity, failed, got a second chance, and succeeded. So from his point of view, and, I mean, the chances of him succeeding is very high because you have Aaron Rodgers. So from his point of view, I don't mind it at all. I think it's a good decision. But from Green Bay, felt like you could have done better.
Bruce Arians with Tampa, they're going to be passing quite a bit.
Did you hear what he said about Jameis Winston?
He's the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I sent out a tweet saying it. It was literally 20 minutes after that he came out and said that Jameis Winston's the guy. But I said, is Jameis Winston the guy for Bruce Arians? I don't think that's a... Okay, so...
That could work. That's another one that
I'm going to walk back some of my stuff on Jameis Winston. I do think he's a clown. I do think that he's probably not going to work out at the quarterback position or anywhere else in the NFL. But I think that he was not given a lot of opportunity from the last coach.
I agree with that, yeah.
I think Dirk Cutter, when he first came in, he was like, reports came out after he got fired that he was like, I don't even want to start Jameis Winston. So he kind of went back and forth. But Bruce Arians loves to throw the football. He loves to throw it.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see a lot of work come Jameis Winston's way. If he screws up, though, I think he's done. Like, if this year he's throwing a lot of picks, 100%. You got to move on. You got to say, listen, we can't do this.
You got to just accept that.
Instead of just trying to keep, like, they're putting a lot of resources and effort into a guy that's not working. So it may be this year, maybe even you draft a quarterback and kind of just be like, hey, listen, this guy's going to sit behind you. If you don't work out, he'll come in, that type of thing. I mean, the Bucs have a decent team, so they should be winning football games. Freddie Kitchens and the Cleveland Browns.
Not bad, actually, honestly.
Come on, Cleveland. You had so many. They had a committee of 7 people and a whole lot of options, and they chose They chose to go within.
Yeah.
Cleveland, you're okay. I called you. I'm going to continue calling you stupid, and I will get slapped in the face because of it. You're stupid.
I know you don't like this move, but I actually kind of like the move. It's not a sexy move.
No, it's not.
But it is a good move. They had a very good offense this year. Baker Mayfield loves him. The GM loves him. The GM, that guy, I forget his name.
Yeah, I'm not. He's doing a good job, though.
But he is doing a good job, and one of his big things is, like, building from within and going with his gut. And he doesn't want a guy like for instance, if they hired Josh McDaniels.
John Dorsey.
I heard this on the radio, and it makes a lot of sense. A guy like McDaniels kind of wants to control his own team.
Yeah.
But if he goes from within, which they did, then the guy's not going to control his own team. He's going to stay in his lane, as LeVar Ball said. Yeah. And I think that's good for Cleveland.
LeVar Ball.
And his relationship with Baker Mayfield, I think, was key as well.
Yeah, it's in the long run, I think it's kind of the safer move. Because you didn't go with the guy, you didn't go with the interim head coach, which is probably wise. And they kept around their defensive coordinator, I believe. No, they fired him. Greg Williams, right? Was that the guy, interim head coach? I think they fired. I don't know.
Yeah.
But their defense is kind of coming together a little bit, so it could be a good decision. But it's also one of those things where you're kind of if you're Cleveland, you're kind of on your last legs here.
Yeah.
Like, you got Baker, you got to make this kid work. because if Freddie Kitchens doesn't work out and Baker Mayfield plays worse next year and that team doesn't make the playoffs and they win 4 games, John Dorsey's getting fired, and so is Freddie Kitchens, and so is everyone else. And it's like it's right. It's back to the drawing board and all of that stuff. So for Freddie Kitchens, like that, I'm going after the Mike McCarthy's of the world. Not that he wanted. I don't think that he wants to coach in. He would want to coach in Cleveland, but the point is that you want these guys to go after a big time coach. You have to go after somebody decent and not hire from within, which is what your problem has been as an organization.
I think the problem with that, though, too, is especially when you have a guy like Mayfield, you get a big personality coach in there. I don't know if that's going to mesh. Yeah. Because you could have heads colliding. Not saying Mike McCarthy is a huge personality, even though he is kind of a little bit. Mm-hmm. But just any big-name coach like that. And that's why I don't mind hiring from within.
Yeah, I don't like anything inside Cleveland. So, Vic Fangio, I think that's how you say his name, was signed for the Denver Broncos. I actually like this move, and the reason why is because Fangio has not jumped into the head coach market too fast. He's been a defensive coordinator for quite some time, so it's a good move for Denver. I think he actually might have been.
What team was he defensive coordinator for?
Let me look it up. It wasn't a hire from within, right?
No. He was the coordinator. He was a defensive coordinator, I think, for. I really want to say Baltimore, but I don't think that's true.
Probably not true. Vic Fangio. I think that's how you say it.
Very unique name.
Very unique. Yeah, I don't know where he played. I believe he was the defensive coordinator for the Bears.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's obviously a good situation for him. I like the signing. I think I think hiring him as your head coach is kind of a safe move for Denver. You have a good defense. You can kind of work with that, but it doesn't solve your offensive problems. Right. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one.
You're still stuck with Case Keenum.
This one I thought was freaking hilarious. Adam Gase to the New York Jets. I saw a tweet. It's funny I saw a tweet earlier today. Rex Ryan gets fired from the Jets, signs with the Bills, right? The Dolphins head coach, Adam Gase, gets fired from the Dolphins, goes to the Jets. Todd Bowles went from being fired from the Bills to going to the Jets. Yeah. So it's like, oh my, it did the coaching, and then there's Bill Belichick just sitting there with the New England Patriots for 40 years. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna say, you want to give your thoughts first?
It is funny because like everything comes from within with the AFC East, and they all blow. So it's just a cycle of blowing.
Yeah.
However, I don't actually think the move is that bad.
Yeah, no.
Because I actually like Adam Gase. He made Ryan Tannehill look pretty solid for a while, and they were a borderline playoff team for every year he was there.
Right.
So it's not like he was awful. I think maybe they could have gone in a better direction, but I don't think it's the worst move in the world either.
Yeah. Adam Gase, I thought was actually pretty good, and without injuries and some bad personalities.
He had Brock Osweiler for a while.
Yeah. For, a lot of that stuff is just kind of thrown into the corner for him, and everyone was like, oh, he sucks. But, I just don't think the last 2 years were his fault. Yeah. Ultimately, I think the Miami Dolphins didn't make a great move in firing him. But to go inside your own division, and I don't know.
Right,
I think what the Jets are doing is pretty good, though, because he is getting Sam Darnold. So that's a pretty good situation for him. The two coaches without teams left are the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins. So both of them are looking for head coaches. It is reported that they are looking at head coaches who are currently still in the postseason. So there are guys who can't be interviewed until I believe is the week of the AFC-NFC Championship game, which is next week.
The Bengals haven't hired from within.
You know what the good thing is for those two teams, though? There is so much available still because all of these stupid teams hired idiotic coaches. Although McCarthy and Josh McDaniels, the two headliners, both don't want to leave their jobs or whatever they're doing. So some other news outside of coaches. Antonio Brown, I know last week we were talking about should they trade him, it is reported now that Art Rooney and the GM are currently shopping Antonio Brown. So he is on the market. For anyone who said that's not going to happen,
it's going to happen.
People at Fantasy Pros. Wow. Antonio Brown will probably be traded. And the reason why I think that is because Roethlisberger currently said he's also open to restructuring his contract, which would mean that $21 million they're going to have to eat when they trade him can get filled with whatever Roethlisberger's giving up. So I think that's wise. What do you think of Kyler Murray? Do you think he's a good quarterback? You like him?
To be completely honest with you, I haven't done enough research on him yet.
Yeah.
But what I have seen, I do like him. But I want to... Before the draft, I like going through like each player.
Yeah.
For like not only their stats, but highlights, their high school stuff. Like I go through a lot. That's why I love Mahomes, by the way.
Mahomes.
But what is your thoughts on him?
You had to sit a whole year on him.
I did.
I think he's good. The numbers he put up at Oklahoma.
Oh, that's just ridiculous. But
ridiculous.
Baker Mayfield had ridiculous numbers too. So
yeah.
However, that has translated well.
Yeah, not bad. I don't know how I feel about Kyler Murray. I have to do more research on him, but from what I've seen in his numbers and a couple of
I kind of figured he was going to baseball.
That I've seen, he's good. It doesn't sound like he is going to play baseball.
It's kind of lean. Well, I mean, let's see.
Do you think it's about the money?
Get drafted by the Oakland Athletics or
play in the NFL?
Maybe if he got drafted by the Red Sox, Yankees, or Cubs.
Because if he gets drafted number one, I think it's 4 years, 20-something million, which is more than you're getting from the Athletics.
I don't know I'd hate to believe that it comes down to money.
For a kid coming out of college,
you're going to get millions either way, I think.
If he doesn't work out in baseball.
What's his contract with Oakland? Isn't it like $5 million a year, $6 million a year?
No, it's $4 million for one season.
For one season?
That might be wrong, though.
I don't know. I think it comes down to like whatever he believes he's best at and whatever he enjoys the most. But
I've seen so many guys make the mistake of choosing baseball over football and then losing out in the end, because for a guy like that getting drafted, he's gonna spend some time, in AAA and trying to work his way into the team and all that stuff.
Take him a few years.
So it's like he's gonna be out of the spotlight for a few years, and then if he decides he doesn't like it, he can't just say, "Oh, NFL, by the way, I'm here still." So I think he's expected to enter the NFL.
I think he's going to the NFL. Yeah.
I think he's going to go to the NFL because that's where he's going to get the best opportunity. They said if this guy comes out, he's going one. Definitely
to Arizona.
Yeah. That's a funny situation, which brings us into Josh Rosen trade rumors.
Right.
So the Arizona Cardinals have denied the trade rumors, but it is said that the coach they just hired is willing to and would draft him one if he was the Arizona Cardinals coach. So, and he is the Arizona Cardinals coach now. So I think you are really going to be taking a look here to see if they're actually going to deal him. If they do that, where do you think Josh Rosen's going?
I really want to say New England. Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be the stupidest thing they've ever done.
New England?
No, Arizona. You waste 2 picks on. I mean, you probably get a lot back in return for Josh Rosen, but
well, that's the thing. Like, let's say you're Arizona right now.
Okay.
Josh Rosen blew his first year. He's still got a whole lot of upside though, and you think Kyle Murray is the next guy? You think he's going to be like an elite top 10 quarterback? You're taking him number 1, right? Even though you just drafted Josh Rosen,
who's going 2?
Dude, you're asking me these draft questions while we're still in postseason mode.
Sorry. That's a tough one. I don't know. I mean, you took a risk on Josh Rosen. You really don't know what he's turned into yet. And you're kind of just saying, if you draft Kyler Murray and you don't expect to trade Josh Rosen, you're kind of going, okay, Josh Rosen, we're going to draft this guy because
you're trading Josh Rosen.
Yeah, you have to trade him. You're basically telling the kid you don't believe in him. So I like him. I like his attitude, Josh Rosen, but
I think he's kind of a tool. But
it depends on who Kliff Kingsbury wants. If he wants to draft Kyler Murray and turn him into the to quarterback, then I think go for it. But
I think if you can get,
me personally, I would stick with Rosen for now.
I think if you believe in Murray, you do that in a heartbeat. And also, I think, especially if you can get something decent for Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
So, like, let's say theoretically, in a happy world, New England comes to Arizona and goes 2 first-round picks and a conditional third or something.
Go.
You do that if you're New England, right?
Yeah.
I do that if I'm Arizona because now I get to build around him, the new quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Arizona's going anywhere anyway next year, especially with Garoppolo back.
Well, here's the problem.
They're the worst team in that division.
Is that if they really buy in on Kliff Kingsbury and they say, hey, you know what? Go for it. Draft your guy, Kyler Murray, get him. Now they're like, okay, we went through 2 quarterbacks, 2 top picks for 2 quarterbacks, 2 coaches.
Yeah, but now you feel
him,
like you're building something, right?
If you feel like you're building something, that's great. But if Kliff Kingsbury gets fired in a year or 2 years, then Kyler Murray sitting there.
Well, I think you as the GM have to be like, we're going to have a plan to draft Kyle Murray, trade Josh Rosen, and build from year to year with this core.
Yeah.
Like you have to, it can't be a 1 year, like, because you're going to stink your first year probably. You got to be like a 3-year plan type thing.
Yeah. If I'm Arizona, I'm keeping Rosen. That's just me, though. The Jags and Fournette met to clear the air after reports about the contract. I don't even know that was the incentives that he was getting, and they were going to take him away. And they were possibly going to trade him. So they met, they cleared the air, and I guess everything's all hunky-dory now for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's a first.
Yep. Mike McCarthy is reportedly going to sit out 2019. Probably
not a bad move, honestly.
You know what he should do? Go to ESPN and say fire Jason Witten.
Oh.
And then he should.
I like that.
Yeah, he should actually do that instead of Jason Witten and fire
the
everyone.
Monday Night Football
Or actually,
guy?
you know what? You can fire. Jason Witten, keep him. Fire Booger. Get rid of Booger.
Dude, you got to keep Booger. What are you talking about?
If I have to listen
you
to
just
Booger,
gave me the worst face of all time.
If I have
disgusted face.
If I have to freaking listen to Booger McFarland next year, I might not watch Monday Night Football.
Whoa.
Sean Payton. This is one of my favorites. It's our last point in the news. Sean Payton brought the Lombardi Trophy and $225,000, which represents the money that the players would win if they won the Super Bowl, to a team meeting this week, and said, "You want this? Go freaking get it," in a less clean manner.
How can you read that if you're the Eagles right now or Eagles fans and feel confident at all? Like, you'd be peeing your pants.
Like, we got this, guys. Zach Ertz is like,
we got this.
Shut up. Shut up, Nick. Where's Carson?
Where's Carson? I'm back here, guys.
Oh, hey, my back hurts a little bit. Yeah. Wait. Where's Alex Guerrero? That's awesome. If you're Sean Payton, that's a great move. I love that. That's kind of like if it was a picture of the Lombardi Trophy, like on a teleprompter on a projector screen or something, they would have been like, eh. But to bring the real Lombardi Trophy, stick it in front of everyone with $225,000, and it wasn't even like a check. It wasn't fake money. It was cash, like stacks
dog
of
move.
Cash. Yeah, it was like, go get it. The Saints are going to win the Super Bowl. Sorry. Let's move on to forced opinion. This week, Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, Smith,
all the big names,
Max Kellerman, all the big names that I don't listen to normally, ranked Tom Brady super low.
Yeah.
Among quarterbacks left in the postseason, saying that he wasn't that good. Colin Cowherd even went to say that he created his own formula to decide the playoffs. If you want to go find that video, feel free and watch it. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. He was like, aren't I just the greatest? I created my own formula. And not only did I create my own formula, you know what I predicted? Exactly what Vegas has. Take a leap, Colin Cowherd.
Is his formula just best quarterback, best coach?
Yeah, best quarterback, best coach, most weapons. He's an idiot. He's like, I don't even know. But anyway, so all three of them have ranked Tom Brady pretty low, saying that they would take, the Andrew Lucks and the Patrick Mahomes of the world over players. Is Tom Brady really one of the worst quarterbacks left?
No, not in the postseason. Regular season, I think you can have an argument considering the way he's played for this year.
Yeah.
But for the postseason, you can't bet against Tom Brady. Come on.
I just wiped out my microphone.
Yeah, I know.
I swiped at it like it was a friggin' gnat.
There is nobody in this league in the playoffs that I would pick over Tom Brady.
Wow.
In postseason time, you just can't pick against him.
Yeah.
He's done too much in the playoffs. Now, that being said, he could, show his age and be 40 years old.
Grab
and
his pants.
Yeah, right. But it's Tom Brady.
If Tom Brady is going to suck, it's not going to be in the playoffs. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Let's play a little game before I get to what I feel on this. Of the quarterbacks left, I'm going to go through a list. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to give you Tom Brady, and then the other quarterback you have to choose.
And we're talking postseason?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom Brady or Andrew Luck?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady or Phillip Rivers?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady or Nick Foles?
Nick Foles.
I hate that Colin Cowherd ranked Nick Foles one spot behind Tom Brady. Oh. You thought I was going to say ranked him ahead.
I thought you did.
Tom Brady or Dak Prescott?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady or Jared Goff?
Tom Brady.
Now, I'll leave this one for last because it's the hardest. Tom Brady or Drew Brees?
Still Tom Brady.
Wow. I would take Drew Brees.
Playoffs.
I would take Drew Brees.
Playoff?
At this point, yeah.
See, now, if we were talking regular season, though, I'd have Mahomes ahead of him.
Yep.
I'd have Luck ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have Brees ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have, let's see, who else? I might have Goff ahead of him. And then who else is there? I wouldn't have Prescott. I wouldn't have Foles.
No.
I probably wouldn't have. I'd still have him ahead of Phillip Rivers, I think, but it would be close.
Yeah. So I have another question for you, though.
Okay.
This is completely unrelated before we get into Tom Brady more. Would you take Andrew Luck or Patrick Mahomes?
Believe it or not, I would take Andrew Luck. Playoffs. For the simple fact of playoff experience.
Regular season?
Mahomes.
Okay.
Do you think that's fair? It's close, though. Regular
season.
I think regular season.
Yes.
Regular
I'll disagree and take
Would you
Andrew
take Luck both?
I take Luck both of them.
Okay, that's fair. I don't think that's...
It's not
it's not
a point that's like, oh, I hate you for this.
Yeah,
like,
right.
They're both kind of the same. Like, I want to... What Andrew Luck did this year with the amount of nothingness he had.
Oh, I know, dude.
And I would love to see, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying Pat Mahomes can't do this, but I want to see if Pat Mahomes could take a team without all of the pieces that he's had and go somewhere.
Probably not.
The
especially
greats,
at this point in his career.
The greats have done it. The Mannings, the Tom Bradys, the Drew Breeses, the Phillip Rivers. Oh, I did not say Phillip Rivers. That is not what I meant to say.
Did you mean Eli Manning?
No.
Definitely
I don't
not?
even know what was about to come out of my mouth. But guys like that have proven and shown that they don't need the talent in order to... They make guys better. So, to me, I don't know if Pat Mahomes can do that. He might be able to. I don't know. I may be completely wrong about that. But when his weapons are gone... He doesn't go to anyone else. He just finds the other talented guy in his offense.
Right, yeah.
So, in terms of Tom Brady, I think that I would say he's 2. So, if I'm ranking quarterbacks, I'm saying Nick Foles is last. Dak Prescott's second to last.
Okay.
I'm going to say Jared Goff is... third to last. What is that? 7th or 6th? I don't even know.
Yeah.
And then I have Phillip Rivers.
I'd probably have Goff.
Pat Mahomes.
Close.
Actually, Phillip Rivers, Andrew Luck, Pat Mahomes, and then Tom Brady, and then Drew Brees.
You have Mahomes over Luck?
Yeah.
I thought you just said you had Luck in both.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll switch that.
Okay.
Forgive me.
Sure.
I was doing quick rankings. What else do you expect? I definitely would take Tom Brady as the second best left. I do think Tom Brady is... I said this a couple weeks ago. Tom Brady showed me in that drive against the New York Jets what he's capable of still. And even though the Jets blow, they're facing a defense that was supposed to be a lot better, but they've been mediocre this year. Their pass defense hasn't been that great. Mm-hmm. And the San Diego Chargers, and let's just back the truck up or move the truck forward. If Tom Brady beats the Chargers this week and goes to the AFC Championship, Rick, he has to face either the Colts or the Chiefs. Both defenses are bad.
Yeah.
The Colts are mediocre.
They're average.
The Chiefs are just straight up bad.
They're bad, yeah.
And then you go to the Super Bowl, possibly, and you face any of the crop of teams besides, I'll just take away the defense from LA.
Okay.
I don't look at all these teams, and I'm not afraid of any of these defenses. So if you're sitting here going, well, Tom Brady, he's not that great. He can shred a bad defense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I look at, the Jets' pass defense wasn't that bad this year. And I think they rank with some of the defenses that Brady has to play left.
They tried for at least most of that game. And he still shredded it. When he went no-huddled that one drive...
I know.
That was...
for people to just brush that off and say, hey, this is not, It to me is just... Tom Brady is another level in the postseason. Sometimes he plays bad. Sometimes he plays good. There are games where he completely falls flat on his face. Jacksonville last year did not have a great game against Jacksonville.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, he came back. It's great. It's great. But that's my thing. It all for Brady, it all comes down to pass rush. It all comes down to can guys put pressure on him.
Which is partly why I'm scared of the Chargers. Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa is the insane duo.
But they're better run stoppers.
Yeah. For the most part.
So I would take Tom Brady. This week it's going to be tough, but if he gets by the Chargers, I think he's going to have a field day against anyone else. You know what I mean? He could easily put up 500 yards and 4 touchdowns like he did in the Super Bowl last year. It's Tom Brady. You can't...
That's so casual to say, but it's true.
I know, but that's the thing is, when you say, okay, Tom Brady, he's 5th on my list, he's 6th on my list of quarterbacks. If you want to sit there and say that, then fine. That's your own freaking opinion, but I know what I've seen for 15 to 20 years, and that's great Tom Brady. And Tom Brady played good this season, so you're telling me that good Tom Brady this season is not going to take a step forward in the postseason to carry his team on his back like he has in the past. This is not when he's going to fall off a cliff. It's not. He might fall off a cliff game 2 next year.
Yeah, right.
But not in the postseason. This is not how he wants to die. He's too competitive for that. Literally, this Monday, I heard a report when I woke up on Tuesday morning that Tom Brady has been watching film for 24 hours. And I was like, this man is something else.
Yeah.
He's something else. So I don't know what we're going to see from Tom Brady in the postseason, but I definitely know it's not going to be trash. And I know it's going to be better than most of the crop. So we'll see what happens in that. Let's move on to the next point. The Cowboys have surprised everyone with their play this year.
Except you.
Including me. No, including me now.
The guy who
I took
picks
freaking Seattle.
That is true. Wow, that was a mistake,
The 1 week I took Seattle, I was like, you know what? I can't go against the boys. And then I told you, 1 foot on, 1 foot off. Well, you know what? Forget about it. I'm on the train and I'm fully.
You hopped off and then you were like,
wait for me. No, I was not. I had 1 foot on, 1 foot off, and then I sawed my leg off, and I got one leg on the train. Yeah. Yep. There it is. Cowboys all the way, going to the Super Bowl. If the Cowboys play the Patriots in the Super Bowl, I'm taking them.
Oh my gosh. The Cowboys play the Patriots in the Super Bowl. More than 75% of America is gonna
Yeah, it's true.
Rip their eyes out.
So are the Cowboys underrated or underdogs to win the Super Bowl?
No.
Okay.
I think they're losing this week.
To the Rams?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have the Rams going to the Super Bowl,
right.
so.
Yeah, it's true. No, I mean, they are hot, but I don't know. There's something. I don't know if Dak is quite there to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yeah, I
don't know if their defense is good enough to carry
next year.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
I'm gonna say yes.
What a shock!
And not because I picked the Cowboys all year that I have a chubby for Zeke, but because
chubby's one way for putting it.
Yeah, one way. There's many others, but I won't subject you guys to that Zeke love torture. But I have the Cowboys doing this for one reason. So I picked the Seattle Seahawks because I felt the Seattle Seahawks were going to be something else in the postseason.
Kind of an underdog team.
I was very wrong about that. Yeah. I picked a lot of underdogs last week, but the Seattle Seahawks...
You were right about all of them except for Seattle.
See, the Seattle win was not an underdog pick for me because you picked Seattle too. Yeah. So for me, I was kind of thinking about it in the context of the Seattle Seahawks are better than the Dallas Cowboys. And I watched a video before that game this last week against Seattle, and people were saying, watch out for the Cowboys. The Cowboys have a very good defense right now. Very good defense. Like, they're subtly good. But ever since Sean Lee went down, Vander Esch has been freaking insane. Like, he is getting, like, friggin' 12 tackles a game. He's insane. He's out of his mind. And then when he hits somebody, he gets up and he freaks out. It's like, it looks like he's going to rip the heart and soul out of the entire fan base he's playing.
And then you look at his yoga pants that the Cowboys
like,
wear, and you're like, oh, never mind.
But
no longer scary.
Yeah, but the Cowboys
scary as those pants.
I think the thing about the Cowboys is their defense. I think that they have the like if you hand the ball to Zeke a lot in the game and you dominate defensively, this team can beat the Rams.
See, this is where we disagree, I think, because you're saying it's about the defense.
Yeah,
I don't know if that defense. They have played very well, but I just don't know if they're enough to carry the offense because I don't think the offense will always show up against good defenses.
Yeah. The Cowboys, to me, have been very, very subtly good. And I think it's one of those things where everyone's just kind of, it's the consistent, the Cowboys, they're not good. Just put them over here. Yeah, forget about them. Let's not worry about the Cowboys. They're not really that good. And before you know it, they'll be in the freaking NFC Championship game.
Oh, gosh, Dallas in the NFC Championship? That's
if they beat the Rams, they're in, dude.
That hurts my soul a little bit. If that happens...
That would hurt Stephen A. Smith's soul.
If it's Saints-Cowboys NFC Championship,
yeah.
I'm going to wear a Drew Brees jersey or something because I am not rooting for the Cowboys whatsoever.
Yeah.
And you'll be wearing your Zeke jersey.
Oh, Zeke. I'm going to buy a Zeke jersey. I'll roll up to Dick's Sporting Goods before it even opens the day after they win. Let's go. Yeah, I got Dallas as an underdog to win the Super Bowl of the teams left. I think the generic thought for this week is Chargers, Chiefs, Saints, Rams.
Yeah.
There's got to be one sneak in there. Yeah.
Last year there wasn't.
Last year there wasn't, but I think this year's a different year. I don't buy in. Believe it or not, I love the Saints and I picked them to win the Super Bowl, but I think they could just as easily lose this week. Their offense has been awful, Rick.
I think they could lose this week, obviously.
He's like, no.
It could rain tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah.
Though the forecast
it could snow on Sunday against the Chargers.
Yeah, but
yeah. Oh, I know what you're saying. I
think the odds of the Eagles winning this week are low.
I think anything can happen, and
I
think
hasn't been good.
If there's one game, because the Patriots-Chargers game is not an upset. Like, the Patriots are favored right now.
Even if the Patriots win, I don't think it's an upset. If the Chargers win, I don't think it's an upset.
So that game I'll take out of there. But if you're talking about all three games, like the Colts and the Chiefs right now are like a deadlock for Vegas. And the Eagles and Saints, obviously the Saints have a blowout.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at the Rams-Cowboys game, that's a game where I could see the Rams heavily favored, but the Cowboys winning it. And I could see the defense playing out of their minds, stopping the old man Jared Goff.
Your grandpa's Jared Goff.
Grandpa Jared Goff. And I think they could stop Jared Goff, and they could. I can't not say it.
Goff. Say Goff.
Goff. And then they can't shut down Gurley. You can't stop him.
No.
But Gurley's not going to win you the game. He's just not. You need Jared Goff to come out and play Jared Goff to come out and play a lot better than he has. And what's interesting to me, and I need to move on, but what's interesting to me is that both top tier NFC teams, the Eagles, the Saints and the Rams, both of them have been struggling offensively as of late.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, they just weren't playing well. Like Drew Brees looked like a shell of what he was playing like at the beginning of the season, and Jared Goff was playing awful, like straight terrible, throwing my pencil across the room. He looked bad. And Todd Gurley was shut down one game by Baltimore, but one game he was shut down.
Right.
8 fantasy points, just
Go by fantasy.
Yeah, because my mind only thinks about fantasy. But if there's gonna be an upset, it's gonna be in the NFC. Now I'm not taking the Eagles, but if the Eagles win, I'll be okay with it. Okay. I'll be like, all right, this is pretty sick. I'm not rooting for the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, by the way, but for them to get to another NFC Championship game would just be like, what is this league? Like, what are we doing right now?
Yeah, Nick Foles,
the playoff
destroying
god.
the rest of the NFL.
Yeah, that leads us into our next.
Imagine Eagles Cowboys NFC Championship.
No,
gosh,
that's terrible.
I think I just puked in my mouth.
Yeah. That leads us into our next point. The Eagles did it again. They advanced to the divisional round, beating the Chicago Bears.
I was very surprised by this game, I'm not going to lie. I know you weren't that surprised.
Matt Nagy, I did pick the Eagles, but Matt Nagy should be embarrassed. That whole team, they should have won that game. How far can the Eagles actually get this year?
I just said I don't think the Cowboys are going to go anywhere. But if there's an NFC wildcard team that's going to do something, or a non-underdog, it's not going to be I think the Eagles are going to get stomped this week.
Oh, yeah.
I give them like a 20% chance. Now, again, my pick'em was not good last week, so you can't take everything I say as facts. But, no, I think the Saints are just the better team, man.
If the Eagles win, how fast do they put up the Nick Foles statue?
Here's how the Eagles win. This is the only way I could see them winning.
Okay.
Nick Foles, little magic.
Little sprinkle. How fast does that trophy go up if they win? I mean, not the trophy, a statue of Nick Foles.
Like that day.
Instantly.
They're getting it ready, like at halftime.
They'll have to grease it before the NFC Championship game.
Get it nice and greased.
Yeah, you got to get Nick Foles greased up for the NFC Championship game. I don't know, man. The Eagles are going to get trounced.
All right,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We don't even need to talk about it. I do not think they can beat the Saints. It's going to be the Eagles. Like the Saints just got their easiest path in the NFC Championship game. Not only did they walk in with a trophy and $225,000. I mean, I wanted to run through a brick wall for Sean Payton just reading it. So. I do not think the Eagles are going to be anything to worry about for the Saints this week. But I do think the Saints could probably come into this game playing a little lethargic, thinking that they're going to win it.
That is true, yeah.
And the Eagles could take advantage of that. But
Foles magic.
In my mind, there is no way, absolutely no way, that the New Orleans Saints lose this game. Like, I can't even think of a way that the Eagles can win. Like, I'm not, when I think about it, they're going to get shredded through the air. They're going to get shredded on the ground. They're going to get shredded by the Saints defense. There's no what are the keys to victory for the Eagles to win? There isn't any.
Doesn't that
just
scare
the
you, though?
Saints. Yeah, well, if I'm the Saints fans, I'm a little bit nervous about that.
Me too.
Like, I've never seen this much of a game where you could actually, like, I would put all of my money that I have ever earned in my life on the Saints in this game, which is scary.
I'd never bet against Nick Foles. First mistake.
If they do win, I will be extremely shocked, and I will jump up in the air like a little kid again
I might not do
on
that.
Sunday. I was like, no way they did it. That was so funny. The poor kid. What's his name? I don't even know. Cody Parkey.
Oh gosh.
Oh, the poor kid. He hit the field goal. He hit the field goal the first time, and it was funny on First Take. Damian Woody said he was like talking about how the Cody Parkey miss. He's like, you shouldn't feel bad for Cody Parkey. It's his job to hit field goals. I'm like, what are you, bitter or something? Like,
the moment the Eagles scored and took the lead, I was like, if this comes down to field goal, the Bears are gonna lose.
Yeah,
he's not gonna make this. And then when Doug Peterson called timeout and he made the kick, I was like,
that's it. It's over.
He's not making this next one.
Yeah.
Now in his defense, the kick was blocked.
Yeah, yeah, it was blocked. So a lot of people ripped Cody Parkey. For like the first day, and then it was officially changed in the game stat, whatever.
Yeah.
That it was a block. And I saw the video that night, and you looked really closely. It was a block. It was enough of a tip to get the ball to move just enough so that it would be a miss. It literally, if he had touched that ball a little bit further to the left or further to the right, that kick would have probably gone through. But the fact that he hit it perfectly in the right spot to cause it to go and hit the pole and double doink.
The double doink.
Yeah. And
it's sad.
A lot of fans had the same reaction. Like, I saw it and I'm like, it bounced the first time. I'm like, it's good. And then I saw it bounce the second time. I'm like, yeah, that's through the net. And then all of a sudden it's on the 20-yard line. I'm like, he missed. Yeah. I was like, what? I watched a bunch of videos of the Chicago Bears fans like, like, yeah, we won. And they're like, wait, he missed it? And they're all like devastated.
And they just like fall face first.
Oh my gosh.
I love those videos.
Yeah, it's so funny. But let's move on to the Patriots Minute. We are going to take 1 minute.
1 minute, actually.
1 minute, actually, to talk about the New England Patriots. We are Patriots fans, I guess. If we're rooting for a team, that's New England Patriots. Now you can hate us if you're listening to us and you live in, New York. Suck it. We're New England Patriots fans. So, please leave a review. Do the Patriots actually have a chance? Do they actually have a chance to win the Super Bowl, or are we living in a pipe dream?
I think we have the chance, yeah, because we have Tom Brady and we have Bill Belichick. And our path could potentially be easy to the Super Bowl. And then once you're in the Super Bowl,
anything can happen.
Right. I wouldn't say it's easy because the Chargers this week is going to be a really tough game. But, I mean, I don't think we've had harder paths to the Super Bowl. And you have Tom Brady, you have Bill Belichick. Is it likely? I don't think it's as likely as it was in the past.
Yeah.
But it can still happen.
I'm going to say yes. No.
Yes, no, maybe.
I think the Pats can win the Super Bowl. I don't think it's a pipe dream. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
About the Chargers.
I'm very nervous about the Chargers.
And if the Chiefs win, that's not an easy game either. Like, if they win both those games, they're probably going to win the Super Bowl. But I we'll see what happens with the Chargers. They can royally puke all over themselves on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Lemons Buy or Sell. Defense doesn't win championships. Do you buy that or do you sell it?
I still sell that. I know my theory has kind of gone out the window with the defenses since the Ravens and Bears both lost this week. But I still think, going historically, good defenses generally win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
The Rams have a really good defense. They're still in it.
Okay.
The Colts, believe it or not, have a solid defense. Chargers have a solid defense. Saints, Patriots, they're still teams that have good defenses and that can win them the Super Bowl if they get there.
So I tweeted this out earlier today, and I said, offenses win playoff games, defenses win championships, and I believe defense. I'm going to sell it because I believe defenses win championships. I don't care how good or bad your defense is. It seems like every Super Bowl there is a defensive play that wins the game.
Exactly. Yep.
Last year, strip sack, Tom Brady, he had the game. He had the game in the palm of his hand. He was like, when Tom Brady got the ball at the end of the Super Bowl, there was no doubt in my mind that he could drive that ball down the field and score a touchdown because I've seen him do it 100 times. And I'm like, you just knew something was going to happen there, and then the strip sack happened. Yeah. And that's a defensive play.
The Malcolm Butler play. When the Broncos won the sack on Cam Newton when he didn't die for the football.
The Broncos defense was spectacular that year. The year the Saints won 5 years ago. I mean, the Seahawks won 5 years ago. Spectacular defense.
Yeah, they just shut down Payton Manning.
And so it's like just every year you're in the Super Bowl, you can take the defense. If there's a team with a better defense, you can take that defense.
Yeah.
Don't look at offenses. I know we want to get in the habit of doing that. Don't look at the offenses. You can take the defense. Now, in playoff games, it's completely different. This week, Tom Brady could shred a team and win the playoff. Like, it's fine. Patrick Mahomes, probably why he could probably win a couple of playoff games. But I'm telling you right now, if the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl, they are not winning because they have the worst defense in the NFL. Yeah. Not the worst, but like it's down there with the Bills.
Worse than the playoffs.
The Bills actually have pretty good defense. Yeah, though. Okay. So number 2, Patrick Mahomes will choke this Sunday. Buy or sell?
Sell. Patrick Mahomes is gonna rock the Indianapolis Colts' world this week.
Oh boy!
When he takes off his pants.
No, leave him on. I don't need to see none of that. Those 5 touchdowns.
He takes off his pants. I meant mine. I'm taking off my pants.
That's at 4:00 on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
All right. I was wishing it was at 8.
Dude, Mahomes is gonna.
Although everyone in the world's watching.
The Colts could win. I actually have kind of changed my mind on the Colts. A little bit, but.
So here's my thing. I'm gonna sell it too. I don't think the Chiefs are gonna win this week, but I don't think it's gonna be because of Patrick Mahomes.
You think it's gonna be a shootout?
It's going to be a shootout, and I think at the end, here's what's going to happen. And this is how Frank Reich. I'll save this for later. I'm sorry. I'm jumping into wild card divisional round weekend or whatever it is.
But yeah, a shootout. I could definitely see a shootout.
I could see that. I don't think Patrick Mahomes. I think it's possible, but I don't think he's going to choke.
Yeah, first playoff game.
Now, what is a choke for you? What is a choke?
A choke would be like
throwing a pick at the end when you have the ball to win. Is that
having
a choke?
With a mixed with
Manning
a bad
has
game.
done that a lot of times.
Yeah,
Peyton Manning.
But Peyton Manning would do that.
He would have a freaking insane game and then throw like.
He would do that too, but sometimes he'd have a bad game the entire game.
Yeah,
was still in it and then would throw a pick.
I'm not sure Patrick Mahomes is going to do that. He hasn't shown this season that he will just all of a sudden show up and have a bad game. But I think the Colts defense is a little bit underrated, and I think that they're better than most people.
Considered a choke job if he has, like, let's theoretically say he has 5 touchdown passes, like 500 yards, has shredded the Colts the entire game, and then he gets like a tip pass that's an intercepted.
See, I don't think that's going to happen.
But that costs them the game. Would that be considered a choke to you?
No, I mean I'd
and
laugh
the Colts
about
win
it and say it was
35 type thing.
That would be his weapons choking.
Right.
Oh, that would be sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna sell it. Let's move on to 3. Josh McDaniels is the heir to the Patriots throne.
Buy, 100% buy. I've been on this train for a while now. Ever since he left Indianapolis, I don't know if I want to. I don't mind it actually. If we're being,
he's good here.
No matter who you're gonna have to succeed, Bill Belichick. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna be that happy about it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be somewhat disappointed because you're going from Bill Belichick to whoever. I think McDaniels is a good fit. He knows the system. He's been in the system for a while. They're not going to change anything drastic with him as the head guy. I like it. I'm okay with it.
I think the other thing too is that most of the team will have the mentality of, okay, this guy was under Bill.
Right.
Like when the Red Sox fired Terry Francona and brought in Bobby Valentine, that in and of itself as a move wasn't awful. It was just the fact that it was not a great move, but I think he kind of just got a bad rap because he was the guy that came in after Terry Francona.
I think he was a clown.
And he was a clown. But I think that anyone that came into that job was going to get hated. And I think it's the same thing with the Pats, is that if you just bring in any Joe Schmo into the New England Patriots, it's going to be like, you don't have Belichick anymore.
Yeah.
We can't just win
what?
games.
We didn't win the division? We didn't go 12-4 and roll through everyone?
Yeah. So McDaniels is the heir apparent of the Patriots throne. I kind of want it to be Brian Flores, to be honest with you, but that's an off-season topic. So let's move on to the pick'em / our playoff predictions. So just to recap wild card weekend, it was an interesting, fun weekend. And I got 3 out of 4 games right. You were 1-3.
Yeah.
Your Final Four holds pat. My Final Four does not because the Seahawks lost. My one wrong game. Such an idiot. But both my upsets worked out. Colts and Eagles. So I was laughing my butt off when Cody Parkey missed that kick. I was like, no way. I was right.
Looking back on it, I still probably would have picked the Bears, and I would have picked the Seahawks. But I kind of regret not, because when you brought up that stat,
the Colts,
the stats, like the streak that they were on,
your mind.
And I was like, you saw it in my face. I was like, ooh,
no, definitely.
But not. I still went with I still went with my gut.
So,
done that.
So we are going to hold pat with our predictions, and
we still have our bracket. It's a separate thing.
Yeah, we still have our bracket, completely separate thing. But we will do pick 'em for the second round of the postseason. So we'll go over a couple of things in the game. We don't have a lot of time left, but the Colts versus the Chiefs. So I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts. I think that the Indianapolis Colts defense is underrated. I don't think you can contain the Chiefs offense, but here's what I think you can do. And this is exactly what they did against Houston. Not that the Houston Texans have a high-flying, 40-point-a-game offense like the Chiefs do, but the Colts are going to, if they win the coin toss, they're gonna take the ball, they're gonna receive it, they're gonna try to score, and then they're gonna try to get a stop. And if they can get up 14-0 in the first quarter and a half, if they can do that, which is unlikely, but if they can do that, then they'll give the ball to Marlon Mack the whole game. They'll just run it down their throats. I don't think that's going to happen.
Even if that does happen, I really would not be confident because Mahomes and the Chiefs offense can get 2 touchdowns in a heartbeat.
Like Frank Reich has said that he's not going to play the keep away game, but I think his goal is going to be to get an early lead and then play keep away.
That's so dangerous, though.
It's not dangerous because that's how you beat the Chiefs this year. That's really at this point, unless Patrick Mahomes does pull off a choke bag in this game, it's the only way.
I would try to score as many points as I can.
Yeah. So I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts. Okay. I'm sticking with my bracket. I think that Indy can win this game. I think they are giant tool bags, but I think that Andrew Luck is just too good. If the Chiefs had any formulation of a defense, I would take the Chiefs. They don't. The Colts have a good defense. They have an offense that can kind of keep pace with the Chiefs. I'm going to take the Colts.
Last week I was saying some rough things about the Colts.
Don't take them back. It's too late now.
I do really want to take them back because I do like the Colts.
Yeah.
We've both of us have always loved Andrew Luck.
I love you, Andrew.
I love you too, but not as much as Mahomes.
Captain Andrew.
I honestly, there's a part of me that is
Andrew
like
Luck,
the Colts.
I'll give you Alex Guerrero massage.
Part of me, if the Colts are playing New England this week, I'd still pick New England because the Colts suck against the Patriots. But if it was Colts Chargers, I'd probably pick the Colts. I like the Colts, but
every time.
Patrick Mahomes.
One for the
Chiefs.
jar. We need a Chief salute jar.
True. I think the key factor in this game. Now, last week I said this with a lot of the games, and I was wrong about it.
Yeah.
But home field, I think playing in Kansas City is going to be a huge difference maker.
Yeah.
And I do think the Colts defense is obviously much better than the Chiefs defense, and you were saying how the Colts offense could keep up with the Chiefs offense. I don't fully disagree with that, but I think the Chiefs offense is just significantly better, and it's not that the Colts offense is bad. It's just the Chiefs offense, I think, is the best.
It's all on luck.
Yeah.
The whole thing is on luck.
It's got to be. So I'm going with the Chiefs in this game. I just think they are just the superior team. I think they have been all year. And I think just home field's going to be a difference. And I think I'm just excited to watch Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
I got nothing else to say. Colts are going to win.
It's going to be really exciting.
It's going to be a good game.
That's my favorite.
One of the games of the week.
The two FC games are the two games I really want to watch.
The other side is like, oh God,
we
got to watch this. Patriots, Chargers. Who you got?
I've been going back and forth on this the entire show.
Yep.
My brain says Chargers. My gut says Chargers, but the heart says New England. I'm going with the Patriots. For one thing, the Tom Brady, we were talking about this.
Yeah.
I don't pick anyone against him in the playoffs. In Gillette, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, you have to be some special kind of team for me to pick against New England.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, so I'm going with the Patriots.
It's so tough. It's so tough. I'm gonna stick with my bracket. I'm gonna take the New England Patriots. I think the tough part about this is that the Patriots have been so inconsistent this year, and you just don't really know what you're going to get. Like if you get what came out in that Jets game, the Chargers are gonna have a long day. But I think, to your point, you kind of swayed me a little bit just a second ago in saying that you're going into Gillette Stadium. The Patriots have not lost at home this year, and it takes a special kind of team to knock off the Patriots in Gillette. And I think that special type of team has a really good defense, which the Chargers don't. And I think that you have to have a different kind of... There's only been two teams that can really just knock the Patriots off. The Ravens and I would say the Giants. Yeah. But we never played them. We obviously couldn't play them in Gillette in the playoffs. But the Ravens are kind of the only team that I can see the Patriots. They beat them twice in the postseason. So the Ravens are a team like that can knock the Patriots off. They have the guts to do it. I think the Chargers are just not there. They're not that team. And I think that
I think they have the talent.
They have the talent to be that team, but they never beat the Patriots. Like, let alone, you don't beat the Patriots. You don't beat the Patriots in your home stadium. You don't beat the Patriots on the road. You're in Gillette.
You know what I will say though?
It's going to be freaking 20 degrees out. Right. There's reports of snow. Like, I'm going to take New England Patriots because this is a New England Patriots like game.
If the Chargers win this week, I have them beating whoever they play in the AFC Championship. I have them going to the Super Bowl. I don't care if they play the Colts or the Chiefs.
Oh, if they beat the Pats, I think they're going to the Super Bowl too.
Yeah. It's just like their year type thing.
I think the other thing is too, not only like the weather conditions, the fact that the Pats don't lose at home, the fact that Brady is like some extra kind of prepared this week. Rivers doesn't play well against the Pats, but it's so tough because you're kind of thinking like the Chargers could.
I think the Chargers from top to bottom have a better roster.
Feeling. You got that feeling in your stomach like this could not turn out the way you wanted to.
Right.
But I don't know. The Patriots are just they're there. I don't know. This is the game that's going to tell you if the Patriots were. We talked about this last week. Are the Patriots a football team that was shifting it on to cruise control the entire season to get Tom Brady to the postseason, and then all of a sudden flip this like freaking switch that he somehow has in his body that is like, okay, I'm going to just shred everyone now. He got 2 extra massages from Guerrero this week, and he's ready to go. I don't know.
Each thigh.
One on each thigh. This team is not a team you can beat with the running game, so it's going to be on Brady. It's going to be Brady in that defense, and if the Pats can do something, the Chargers are beatable. They're very beatable. You're at home. This should be a win for the Patriots. Like thinking conventionally, to me this is a win for the Patriots. Yeah, historically too, but this is a win for the Patriots. For you, on paper, you think the Chargers obviously have I think they have a more talented team, but this is New England Patriots we're talking about in January, in the cold, possibly the snow.
Mm-hmm. West Coast team,
Tom
on
Brady,
Eastern time game.
Yeah, and that was the other thing I was going to point out is that this team went to the East Coast to play Baltimore.
Yeah.
They came back to LA. They practiced one day and then got back on a flight to go back to the East Coast on Friday.
Oh, really?
So they've been traveling back and forth between the East Coast and the West Coast for 6-7 days now. They've had 4 flights back and forth.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's not that the flight is going to change anything, but that's a lot of travel.
It is.
And a lot of like the time that you spend on the plane traveling is time that you can't, like, you can obviously watch film, but you can't do much preparing sitting on a flight. So I got the New England Patriots in this game. They've been sitting at home all week. Bill's been having them practice in the rain and the snow and the sleet and in the cold. Bill's been doing a lot of stuff with this team that Alex Guerrero never does. So I take the Patriots. Eagles versus Saints.
This is the only one that We
talked about this already.
Yeah,
I take the Saints.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very. It'll be a wallop.
I think this is the game.
If the Eagles win,
I think all three of these games. So out of the 4 games, I think this is the one that has the biggest chance of being a blowout.
Yeah.
And out of the 4 games, I also am most confident in picking the Saints.
Yeah, I'm taking the Saints.
You thought about it for a second?
No, it was like, no, that's not gonna happen. If I'm a Vegas odds maker, I would make the Saints the 100-1 favorites, or no, the 1-1 favorites. Wait, they already won the game? What? We should just put the Saints in the NFC Championship game. Why do they even bother play this game? The Cowboys versus the Rams. I'm gonna take Dallas, only because
You're on the train.
I jumped off the train last week just for a second. I was like stopping for some apples, and all of a sudden I got distracted. I got distracted by the Seattle cart that came by, and I was like, "Ooh,
that's pretty.
That's pretty. I like that. Look, there's that coach that jumps up and down, Pete Carroll."
But now you're focused.
Yeah, I'm going back to the train. The Cowboys are going to win this game. Zeke is going to eat and then eat and then eat 3 touchdowns. And the Rams are going to get toasted, and Jared Goff will throw 3 touchdowns and puke all over himself, and Sean McVay will have his hands on his head and crying in the locker room after the game saying, "You guys did so great this year." And the Rams will be going home. The Cowboys will be in the NFC Championship.
Oh gosh, don't
with
say
Jason Garrett as their head coach. It kind of makes me sick, but it also makes me excited.
Jared Goff is not Grandpa's Jared Goff anymore. He's a young, new hip Jared Goff. That's what we're calling him now.
And new hip.
He's gonna win this week.
He's just 70s.
I believe in Jared Goff. Todd Gurley's gonna light it up. Sean McVay is gonna get over the hump. And also, I'm not picking for the Cowboys in the playoffs. It's just not gonna happen.
That was loud.
So I got the Rams in this game. I'm pretty confident in this game actually.
Okay.
I think the Rams are just a better football team too.
So last week I took 2 upsets.
Yep.
Taking 2 upsets again. This week I took.
Which scares me that I'm not.
Yeah, you're going the good.
You know why? Because every year in the playoffs I pick upsets, and then last year was all non-upsets, and it's just scaring me.
So we both agreed on the Patriots and the Saints.
Yep.
We disagreed on the Cowboys and the Colts. So I got Colts, Patriots, AFC Championship game. Yep. Eagles, Saints, Cowboys, NFC Championship game. You got Chiefs, Patriots, and Saints, Rams. Yep. So we will see. Your bracket can still hold up. My bracket is wobbling on 3 legs.
You can still have the Super Bowl right, though.
Yeah, dude. You could have the Super Bowl right. Well, I mean, your bracket could shatter this week. If my Cowboys Colts picks are right, your bracket's destroyed.
Toast. I'm extra toast.
You're extra toast.
That's my Super Bowl right there.
I'm just like, okay, I put on my 3 goggles, and all I see is the Cowboys. It's not the Seahawks anymore. It's just the Cowboys. So technically, I picked that right.
If you're right, you're picking against. Well, actually, just in general, you're picking against both of my Super Bowl picks.
Yes.
That's so.
If I'm right, your Super Bowl's destroyed.
Yeah.
You have to reset. I will probably get the Cowboys one wrong, but that's me picking with the train and not my heart. Got any closing thoughts for us before we? I'm so
excited for this week. Playoffs. This is last week was like, oh yeah, playoffs are.
That was like a little teaser.
Yeah, now we're here.
Yeah, we're here. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch this week.
The only game that I'm not like is the Saints Eagles game. Like I could care less. Not that I could care less. I'm definitely gonna watch it, but I'm not gonna be as intrigued with that game as I am the other 3.
Yeah. So just to give you an update on when the games are: Saturday at 4:30, KC against Indy, Dallas against LA on Saturday night. The Chargers and the Patriots play at 1 o'clock on Sunday, and then Philadelphia and New Orleans play at Sunday at 4:40.
That's a weird start time.
Yeah, and the last game is like the game that's already set, so it's getting interesting. This is it. This is the grind. Yep. 4 weeks till the Super Bowl. We're getting closer. When's the draft? Let's go, baby. Yeah, I was watching a documentary about Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning and how Eli Manning demanded a trade after he got picked or whatever.
Yeah.
All that crap. Did you know that year the NFL draft outrated the NBA Finals?
Really?
Or I mean the NBA playoffs. I'm sorry, forgive me.
Well, the NBA in
2005 was not that hot.
Yeah, that was like what? Is that the Pistons year?
Isn't that crazy how dominant the NFL is?
Yeah.
Just like it takes over the whole market.
Now they don't do that anymore now because NBA I think is a clear second. While in 2005 I think baseball was still kind of
NBA is trendy.
Yeah, the NBA is trendy, especially right now.
I think the NFL lasts though, because everyone watches it. Like at some point, the NFL will the NBA will take a step back a little bit.
There's also a New York team that was really heavily involved in the draft.
Yeah, that's
Some
true.
big markets. Pittsburgh got a quarterback that year.
Isn't the Giants always involved? That'll do it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the Rick and Morgan podcast. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes and YouTube and check us out on lemonsportsnetwork.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at RickMorganPod. See ya.